So with the COVID-19 virus being so contagious, most states in the country have imposed rules to try to keep crowds from gathering. And I read that a pastor of a megachurch in Tampa was arrested um, for not heeding the warning of the local authorities and continuing to have his church meet up in these big groups. He was arrested. Now, it was a misdemeanor. I think he was out of jail in a couple of hours. He had like a $500 bail. So, I mean, it's not like they locked him up and threw away the key. I think they were just trying to make a point. But whether or not that's constitutional, I guess, is debatable. Been looking into it. And I think if it's a public safety issue, then the authorities can do pretty much whatever they want. The interesting thing about this recent development is that on the internet and a lot of chat sites, I found not just people with opinions on this issue, whether or not it was constitutional or whether it's wise to leave a church open or to close it. What's really interesting is I found pastors of churches on both sides of the fence arguing with each other. It's pretty interesting. Uh, I've never seen that before, not to this extent. Um, you've got some pastors that are like, there's no way I'm closing my church because the Bible says this, that, and the other to support my claim that we need to keep the churches open. And then you have pastors that are like, well, I have Bible verses that support obeying the local authorities and closing the churches to protect the parishioners. Um, God gave you a brain to think with, and so you need to think and be careful. But then back on the other side, they're like, oh, you got to have faith in Jesus, and you can't let the local authorities control your church services. You give them that power, and then eventually they're gonna do more with it and shut you down and take away your First Amendment rights. And anyways, it's crazy. I normally get involved online to either antagonize or poke or prod pastors of churches, and give them a hard time. I kind of enjoy it. Maybe it's the Christopher Hitchens in me. I enjoy being stirring the pot a little, being a contrarian. But recently I haven't had to do anything. I find these pastors going at each other like boxers, and I just sit down with the popcorn, man, and just watch the sparks fly. It's crazy. And what's funny about it is both sides have Bible verses to back up what they're saying. And it never occurs to them that maybe the reason that these verses contradict each other is because the Bible is man-made written and it's fallible and it's fiction. No, no, that doesn't occur to them. It's the other person is taken out of context, or the preacher's taken out of context. The preacher doesn't understand it. It's pretty funny, as an atheist, watching these dudes go at each other like this, using the same book, the literature of the Bible, to go at each other. I have to say, I find it pretty entertaining. I don't have any sports to watch, so that's my new hobby. I find these pastors clobbering each other, and I enjoy it. So anyways, what do you think?